Good evening, everybody. My name is Jason Bainbridge, and I'm here with Whaka Heke, the author of Treasure Hunting in the Philippines. So, Whaka, could you introduce yourself?
Okay, when I'm an ordinary guy from an ordinary background in New Zealand. I was raised in a Potiki in the Bay of Plenty, on a farm, went to Auckland where my parents had another house, went through schooling, but I was fascinated with gold, and that came from a trip to a place called Waihi, uh, where my father took me to an old gold mine, and I nosed around, and I actually found nuggets of gold. Uh, it's interesting. Maybe I should have stayed there longer because ocean gold are now at Waihi, and they've made millions of dollars. So that's how I got into gold. Then I went to Canada and the US, but I never lost my passion for gold. I was always out in British Columbia or the Yukon or Alaska or somewhere, even Chile. Because I worked for an airline, I could have free passes, so every spare minute I would go somewhere looking for gold in my weekends. But I never lost that spirit for gold. That's how I got into it. I am sitting in the beautiful island of Mindanao, in the Philippines, where we base our operations from, looking at various treasure sites. And the sites are actually listed in the book. I can't recall the page, but I'm sure you know. But there's about 130 sites that we're looking at. To give you the magnitude of these sites, a small site is from 1 to 10 tons. A medium site is from 10 tons to 100 tons, and a big site is 100 tons plus. In today's market, 1 ton is worth maybe $50 million. So it's a very, very rich occupation. Somebody asked President Ford, Mr. President, what's the richest country in the world? And without blinking an eyelid, he had a wry smile and said, the Philippines. Nobody asked why or what, but there's unbelievable wealth here. Most people know about it, but there's also rumors and scammers and intrigue and all of those things. But it's here. I've seen it, and I've spent over 20 years looking with some modest success. I won't go into those successes because they're private, but it's here, and I've seen it. In fact, there's a picture in the book of billions of dollars of gold in a bunker, and they're hallmarked with a very famous Swiss bank, and the bars are supposedly from the Vatican. Is that true? I don't know. But I think it is. But I've seen it, and I've photographed it. I've had recoveries, so it's true.
What is the Yamashita legend?
Mr. Yamashita, the general that overlooked the entire operation after Pearl Harbor, was a very clever, intelligent man. Not at all how he's portrayed as a butcher of Bataan. He was an intelligent man, very, very clever, and from a diplomatic background. A lot of people don't know he served in Switzerland, Berlin, Italy. He met Mussolini. He was a diplomat, a well-mannered, intelligent man. It all starts just about 5,500 miles north of here, or northeast, is the island of Hawaii. And the attack on Hawaii by the Japanese on December the 7th, 1941, was no surprise. They had been planning it for a year, modifying submarines, modifying torpedoes, fitting long-range tanks to their aircraft. The Japanese, as you know, you've lived there, are extremely scrupulous in their detail. So this was a planning for 1 year. In 1941, around December the 1st, they sailed from the Kurile Islands, a long way, to 3,500 miles to 250 miles north of Hawaii, northeast. 6 carriers with about over 400 planes. They launched their attack at 7:55 on a Sunday morning on December the 7th. And it was devastating, wave after wave. It lasted for 2 hours. America had huge casualties, namely the Arizona, which was directly hit several times with 1,177 sailors on board. You can see it now. You can see the folks all lying out of the water in Hawaii. It was an unbelievable attack. The next day, two things happened. Roosevelt declared war against them, and they attacked the Philippines. And then it started. Hong Kong fell, Borneo, Singapore. That's how it all started, and it wasn't new. The attack was absolutely devastating. But that's
Yes, what was Operation Golden Lily?
The Golden Lily, which was founded in 1600, plundered every Asian nation of their valuables. Can you imagine going to Singapore and looting every pawn shop, bank, wealthy house, of everything? They did the same with all of the countries. It ended up, I suppose, what you would call modern-day Yakuza. You're better informed on me because you lived there. But they came here in 1910 to the Philippines on what was called a friendship program. It was friendship. They were building roads and highways, but what the public didn't know, they were building bunkers and tunnels, including underground graves for the future. They knew war was coming, and they knew they'd have to dispose of their treasure somewhere. Where else but the Philippines? They even printed Philippine pesos, written by the Reserve Bank of the Philippines. I've recovered 2 container loads. They're disintegrated and old. I think you can get them on the internet for 30 or 40 cents. I'm not sure.
How do Golden Lily and Yamashita line up?
He doesn't really line up with Golden Lily at all. President Hirohito and Yamamoto, General Yamamoto, appointed him to hide the gold. So they prepared 52 ships, some with a Red Cross to look like Red Cross hospital ships. They inventoried the treasure in Singapore, and then from Singapore and bases in Tokyo, they shipped it to Pier 3 in Manila, and it was dispersed all over the Philippines under the direction and guidance of General Yamashita. And there's a list of the sites in the book. We've seen some of the sites. Some have been recovered. There could be more, there could be less, but there's at least 100 sites still here now containing billions of dollars.
Having said that, you said there is plenty of evidence that it still exists. Because I've heard, for example, from Benjamin Fulford that it's all been recovered already.
There's still billions of dollars of gold here. Take the point, there's no gold, there was never gold, as some people will argue today. Then how do you account for Roger Rojas finding a 1-ton Buddha whose neck screwed off with diamonds and small gold bars, and Marcos actually sees the Buddha. He was given a map behind Baguio Hospital where Watsai was a patient, and the Buddha was seized from him, and it's rumored now that it sleeps under Zurich Airport. There's no question in my mind that the treasure is here. Other people are taking a great interest. Hordes of Japanese have been here already, trying to buy land, politicians involved, prominent businessmen, obviously won't know names, but there's absolutely no doubt. The industry has also spawned a bigger industry of scammers, scallywags, and scoundrels. So they've been making fake maps, fake gold. It's here. It's a wonderful country. You must come back one day. For years, my wife and I, who was an expert tracker, marshal, you know my wife, her and I have trudged up hills, down hills. We've taken boats, we've taken ultralights, small planes. We've really utilized all transport. But now you have drones. The drones can do the walking. And to the drone, you attach a camera equipped with LIDAR. And LIDAR will give you a 3D image of what lies beneath. So good things are about to come. One point I'd like to make. a lot of people refer to me as Indiana Jones or the modern Indiana Jones. That's not true. Indiana Jones is a product of George Lucas, Disney, and Steven Spielberg. I'm a real guy. I have emotions. As you know, I can be aggressive, I can be angry, I can be happy, I can laugh. I can't sing like these wonderful Filipinos, but I'm not Indiana Jones. I'm just another guy out living my dream. That's who I am. Whaka Heke. Goodbye, guys. Thank you for your time.
Don't forget, you can check out her website, treasurehunter.network, and you can pick up a copy of Treasure Hunting in the Philippines at treasurehunter.network. And thank you very much for talking to me today. And next time we'll be talking about the 3 rules of survival when treasure hunting.
Yeah, I'll give you the clue. It's like real estate. Observe, observe, observe. Okay. Keep your
Kia ora, kia ora.